I was told that this was to be memoir reading or poetry, and since I wasn't sure which, I brought a memoirish poem. And the little backstory on it, it's been almost 10 years ago, I heard a young poet, as I told Tracy, her name was Tracy, at the October Gallery in Center City. And she did 3 poems that night, one about falling in love, one about the relationship, and one about the relationship ending. And I don't know what the connection was, but that night I went home and this spilled out of me concerning someone I'd known since high school. So this was at the time we'd known each other over 40 years. We've known each other 54 years now. And I had just seen her for the first time after a marriage half her lifetime had just ended for her. She was in a lot of pain. And so, anyway, that's the backstory. Some of it's in the poem. Just say it's a little longish, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's called Epiphany Unwanted. I listened to the sister reveal herself through spoken word skills, showing strength and softness, showing openness, showing vulnerability. I felt that long ago day, that long ago precious day. I ended denial, saw the death I had called a wound. I listened to the sister, not much older than us, on that long ago precious day. A sacred day profaned by actions still not understood. The sister held nothing back as you held nothing back. Hearing her burrowed inside me to the place where still you live, wearing the savage scar I caused in blindness. By not seeing the death, hope lived in unreality. Delusions created by unrequited completeness, floating in free-fall vastness. A stranger speaking for you. The sister showed everything, holding nothing back, as you held nothing back. I behaved like a predator that long ago precious day, although, for once, praying was far from my mind, clouded with an irrational impulse to be loyal to someone disloyal. Twice a score of years has not lessened the heat frozen in time, a heart that hurts for hurting your heart, and asking, pleading, begging for a resurrection because like Lazarus, blindness hid the death from me. Seeing you again made a new precious day, created yearnings dormant until you defined us by showing fatal scars I could not nurse back to life. Seeing me again brought words from you from beyond the grave where buried feelings I murdered alive, then pleaded manslaughter in a court of pain without mercy. The sister held nothing back. I would hold nothing back. You hold nothing back now because the dead flowers leaning against the stone speak silently for you. I pray foolishly for the power of God to breathe life back into the skeletal remains of that long ago day, barricaded behind 2 lifetimes that found other lives, other loves, other hurts, other joys, other scars. I listened to the sister spilling sorrow that echoed your silent screams that long ago day, mingling her pain and yours with mine. Part 2. How is it possible to kill love given, love wanted, needed? How is it possible to hurt love so open, so obvious? Is it possible to undo time, remake time, recreate time? Asking only for the moments before the words, I have someone else who means nothing, someone else I am marking time with, someone else, not you, never you. Feel the pain, all of it. Sit still. Feel it. Double it. Double that. That feels like what she tells you she felt. Don't flatter yourself and think you deserve it. It hurts so much. Feel it for not feeling it that long ago day of innocence. In the movie, they get it right after all those years and lifetimes the two lived apart. But real life doesn't imitate art. This ain't a script for sale, ain't an essay, ain't a novel, ain't even a poem as much as an exorcism that's not working. It's hurt from a heart bleeding tears, feeling what it felt and would not act on that long ago day. Heat, frozen in time, wanting a resurrection, a second coming that's not coming.
So, let's see, you still have 6 minutes.
Okay.
Wow,
Well,
we moved on to keeping time, have we?
yeah, okay.
Different than the early days, Trace.
We're getting there. We're really professional now. Really.
I guess I'll stay with that mood for a minute, and then maybe I'll close with a poem that's a bit political, if I have time. If not, so, I'll look at my table of contents and see where it is right quickly. Clock's running. Here we go. Oh, it's the next. Oh. In that same vein, around that same time, I wrote this poem after a conversation, and then no more conversations on the telephone. And this was back when everyone, instead of having cell phones, had voice machines. And you came home and you turned on the machine to see what messages you had. It's called Silence, Sadness, and Smokey Robinson. The button brings my voice, other voices, irrelevant messages, never your message, never the sunshine song of your voice. The soulful sound of Smokey would do anything, just to see her. An anthem sitting in my center, a lyric that sorrows even as it soothes. The button brings me saying, leave a message, when I really mean your hello would mean much more than meaningless messages. Unheard through barriers built from my absence of presence, while my mind wanders on a lake on a summer day, imagines softness, imagines forgiveness. As Smokey guide goads my phantasmal hopes, I build chimerical dramas from foolish things that remind me of being with you, being with you, being with you. As you wrestle with your own half-a-lifetime love, asking yourself if it's halftime or a denouement, an ending undeserved and unwanted before the one vowed by mortality. I understand, while standing silently in the shadows, listening to other voices bring other messages, never your message. Smokey sings, and I smile, like Smokey tells us, Hayachi did. Thank you. This last one is in memory of two men. It's been almost a decade. Boy, I'm going back to the beginning of this decade, I see in all my poems. Anyway, in 1999, a man named Amadou Diallo was shot to death in New York by a special unit, and they fired at him 41 times, hit him 19 times for reaching for his wallet. And they were acquitted. And a year later, a young man leaving work, security guard, was approached by plainclothes cops who asked him if he would sell him some dope. He took exception to it because he was not a dope dealer, got angry, and within moments he had been shot to death. And so, as soon as I can find this poem, I was in a workshop where we were given an assignment. Oh boy.
Would you like me to hold the mic?
Yes, thanks. Where do you know? Here we go. I was in a workshop at the main library in Philly, and we were given an assignment to take a cliche, any cliche, and then do anything you wanted with that cliche. And it was kind of eerie because right away the cliche "killing two birds with one stone" came to my mind, and the title of my poem is "Killing Two Men with One Squad," in memory of Amadou Diallo and Patrick Darsman. They be undercover looking for the bad guys. Who are the bad guys? Anybody driving while black, walking while black, standing while black. Looking for the bad guys, armed with cliches and guns and the Dred Scott decision. They looking for the bad guys. armed with cliches. He reached for a dark object. He reached for a shiny object. His hand went to his waistband. He made a sudden move. He tried to flee. He lunged. He was too strong. When they shot Amadou with cliches 1 and 4, dark object, sudden move, that made it officially his fault that he became dangerous by standing on his own steps. So dangerous that they shot him with cliches 1 and 4, shot at him 40 and 1 for minding his own business, but none that a squad guy was bound to respect. 19 bullets made him one of 2 men killed with 1 squat. When they shot Patrick with cliches 4 and 6, sudden move, he lunged, and grazed him with 7, too strong. The cop wanted to cop. Now we know cops don't cop. Pat copped an attitude not knowing this dude trying to cop was a cop. They be undercover, looking for the bad guys. Who are the bad guys? Anybody driving while black, walking while black, standing while black. Pat had no drugs, just loaded with anger at this dude calling him a dealer because he fit the profile, standing and walking and definitely black. The other cop had to help his partner cop who tried to cop. Had to shoot the man loaded with anger and minding his business. Not racial. It was a brown cop trying to cop, if you understand the profile. Brown cop helping a brown cop shoot a black man leaving work and minding his business. Street level cliches killed Diallo, killed Darisman. High level cliches helped bury justice next to the dead men. Tragic occurrence, a terrible mistake. Our condolences to the family. A tough and dangerous job. Split-second decisions. Justifiable homicide. They be undercover, looking for the bad guys. Armed with cliches and guns, and the Dred Scott decision. They looking for the bad guys.